Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Travel God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Tuesday night video. And it's Tuesday night, you know what that means. We got NXT coming up at the top of the hour. Should be a great show tonight on the CW11. Pretty much the go-home show before next Tuesday's big event, where we'll crown a new NXT World Champion. We got Ricky Starks in, Shawn Legacy, I forget who else, but we got 3 more people vying for the spot in the 6-way ladder match to see who gets crowned the new NXT World Champ. Then we got Kiana Carver over Femi 2.0 against Mr. Case. That's going to be like a 50-second garbage fest. And we got a couple other good matches on the show. We'll see what happens with Blake Monroe and Jada Parker. Speaking of Jada Parker, she's going to be taking on Nikita Lyons. That should be fun. And The View. So her thick ass and her thick legs will be on display tonight. That's Nikita Lyons. And a whole lot more on your 2-hour Cure for Insomnia NXT. So it should be a great show. And that's that. But anyway, thank you all for watching right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down below, and subscribe to my other channels as well. Links are all down below in the gobbledygook. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, and in the future, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul, and you'll never be seen from again. So don't do it. Go do it on somebody else's channel, or just shut up. But I digress. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss the next one, you're SOL. You know what that means. I don't have to tell you, but I think you know what it means. And if you don't know, too bad. That's that. And for our newbies out there, you're coming to my channel for the first time, you like what you see, then hit the subscribe button. And when you do, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab a nice tasty soda, or whatever you got. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, too bad. And that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Tuesday night, January the 27th, 2026. Hope you had a great day as we're closing out the first month of 2026. And we'll begin the very short month of February this Sunday. And we got the Royal Rumble on Sunday. Should be pretty good. We also got SmackDown from the Land of Sand, Saudi Arabia, on Friday afternoon, beginning at, I believe, 1 p.m. If you have Netflix with a VPN, you get to watch that. If not, you just have to wait till 8 o'clock on the USA Network. We also got TNA Episode 3 on AMC. 171,000 views for that. Thought it was going to go higher, but it went a little bit low. But we'll see what happens with that. We also got Ring of Honor on Thursday. And tomorrow night, we got another edition of Dynamite, which should be a very interesting show. From Austin, Texas. Scare them Cowboys that night. That's what's going to happen this week. And then, like I said, we got the Royal Rumble on Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. And then we begin the month of February. That's that. Hopefully we're getting no snow, but I talk about a little bit of snow. For now, right now, to talk about an inch or two, which is basically a nothing storm, but gonna watch the weather, and then there might be a nor'easter or bomb cyclone or whatever might be happening this weekend. And then next weekend, might get another one. It sucks. It sucks so bad. I hate the winter. I wish it was the summer, so I'd be out of here by now. But, you know, be on a beach somewhere just not giving a fuck. But, you know, it's New York weather for you. Or Northeast weather for you if you live in New York or Baltimore or Boston or whatever you live. It sucks in the wintertime sometimes, but last 4 years here in New York, I would say the last 4 or 5 years in New York have been pretty warm. Not too many snowstorms, but warmer than usual. And we were due, and now we're due. And I think it's the curse of the sixes. Every time we have a 6 in the year, we get bad weather. So who knows what's gonna happen this summer with the hurricanes and shit. Hopefully none around my area. I don't need it. We don't need all that shit. Like another Superstorm Sandy. Nothing like that. We don't need that shit. Get it out of here. Spanish Archer. And that's that. But anyway, enough about the weather and all that other shit. Ladies and gentlemen, on your Tuesday night, I am Peter Joseph, your gracious host, right here on the Kill with Demons channel. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. And, all that other shit. But right now, it is time for your late and out-of-date Monday Night Raw review for January the 26th, last night, from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. One hell of a city. Unlike Montreal. But, that's another story for another time. Alright, so, decent show last night, and our commentary team, the legendary Michael Cole and Corey Slave. He's back. For how long? We don't know. Alright, so, our usual Raw announce team, and hopefully on, I don't know about Friday if we're going to get Joe Tessitore and Bad News Wade Barrett. Probably be Michael Cole and Wade Barrett for Friday and Saturday. So we'll probably get Joe Tessitore probably next week. And whatever they're going to be in next Friday. Next Monday, we're in Philly, the land of extreme. That dump in Philly. So, we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, so we start off the show with people coming into the building. La Primera, Stephanie Vercurr, CM Punk. I think we saw AJ Styles as well. We get that. Alright, so we started the show with a phenomenal one with great hair. AJ! For the last time, hopefully not, but Styles. Anyway, so AJ comes out, welcomes us to Monday Night Raw. And he says, there's a man backstage who says that it's the last time that he'll get to say that, and his name is Walter. But that's now how I see it. I mean, AJ sees it going, because, well, this is going to be the year that he retires. There's a lot that he still wants to do. He wants to wrestle some people one more time, and also one more time hold the World Heavyweight title. AJ says, Walter, you may be good, but you're not phenomenal. And then, speaking of champions, the Raw World Champion, the man that is barely on TV these days, CM Punk. He comes out. Punk talks about how they've known each other for 20 years, especially in Ring of Honor and TNA, and have been everywhere from friends to rivals, but now they have mutual respect for each other. And Punk's like, I'm not sure putting your career on the line, such a great thing. AJ's like, you don't think I can win, do you? And Punk's like, no, that's not what I meant. Right. But it's a huge gamble, and if it goes bad, we can never face each other in a WWE ring. So AJ's like, well, you're here. I'm here. Let's have a title match right now. Or later on. The fans like, yeah, do it. And then Michael Cole's like, yeah. Simp. So AJ's like, not trying to be disrespectful, but that's how you're coming off. You're coming off as an ass. Especially since I know I can beat you. So Punk's like, oh really? Why don't you prove it later on? So, eventually, Adam Pearce makes it official. So, later on, we got a world title match in the main event. CM Punk defending against AJ Styles, possibly for the last time on Raw. Hopefully not, but like I said, with Shinsuke's Instagram post, Instagram leak, AJ gonna go bye-bye on Saturday night, because his contract ends on Sunday, so, Wendy, he's coming home, so, that's that. Alright, so I get that first segment 3.25 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Monday Night Raw. Alright, after that, we got a nice recap of Saturday Night's main event, which should have started before the AJ segment. Bad production, Hunter. Anyway, so then we get to our first official match of the evening. We have a wild 6-woman tag team match. So we have the ladies of the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, her, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez. They take on the women's tag team champions. Their name is Rio, and they dance upon my lap. And when they're done, they go and take a nap. Yeah. Mommy Rhea Ripley, my brutality. And my third amazingly hot Asian wife, you know her, you love her, you can't get enough of her, but you can have her. And that's my wife, Io! Io Sky. They team up with the Women's World Champion of Raw, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, who's out of her walking boot, but there's a button that stinks. She tweaked the ankle during a dive, and but still was able to finish the match, but you can tell she tweaked her leg. Alright, I'm not going to go through everything, but it is what it is. A couple of good things happened during the match. Rhea Ripley gets sent into the ring steps, and Stephanie, with a backbreaker to get her out of trouble. Io comes in and then we hear some woman go, "Excuse me! Vicky Guerrero, that you?" Maybe she was there, I don't know. So Io comes in, cleans house, a hard kick to Roxanne Perez. What? And it was strange that Corey Graves called her Roxy. Wonder what that was about. But anyway, so Io hits the bullet train, sets up a beautiful butterfly backbreaker, puts Roxy down. Liv Morgan comes back in for a double Russian leg sweep. Actually, it was a code-breaker, sloppy Russian leg sweep. But what are you going to do there? And that's pretty much it for that. And then Liv tries for Oblivion, didn't work. Io kicks her way out of harm's way. Gets the big tag to Mommy Rhea Ripley, who is the Laser's Egg Chico. Something happened to this. Something happened to you, Chico. Sends Liv into Roxanne Perez, but goes for Riptide, gets broken up. Liv hits a springboard tornado DDT. Interesting. To drop Mommy Rhea Ripley, and then all 6 women are in the ring. La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, escapes the Tejana Bomb, hits a big flippy dippity-doo on the floor, which was how she tweaked her ankle, and she was pretty much out of the, on the outside of the ring for the rest of the match. And that led Mommy Rhea Ripley to block Oblivion again. Roxy tags herself in on a blind tag, and Io with a missile dropkick on Roxanne Perez. That led to Mommy Rhea Ripley hitting Riptide on Roxanne Perez. They get the win in under 13 minutes. Pretty good match. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's that. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's it. Alright, good match. Good match there. Alright, then we're going to look back at last week's main event. Where we had CM Punk defend the Raw World title against the hometown man, Finn Balor. And we know CM Punk retained in a great match. Swordsmanship, code of honor after. You love to see that. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so then we're in the back. Finn comes up to Punk, says you were part of the most memorable night of my career. Couldn't thank him last week, so he thanks him now. But Punk says, well, it takes 2 to tango. And Punk says, I'm not the best in the world unless you... you're not the best in the world unless you beat the best in the world. And there aren't many people left like them in WWE. And you should think about what you want your legacy to be. And if you want to be champion again, maybe you should ditch the Judgment Day. Because hanging around Dominic Guerrero isn't helping things. But if you want another title shot, win the Royal Rumble, and then come see me in Vegas. So Balor's like, I'm interested. So, that's that. We move on. Why is he talking about my son? I don't know. Your son's a great man, Eddie. He came from your loins. I know! I have great loins! I know. China should know, right? Right, Joni? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. You know, everybody's jealous of Dominic Guerrero, which is an OG. I know. Punk, you need to shut your mouth for once, because Dominic is gonna knock you into, you know, back to Ring of Honor, or back to your couch in Chicago, next to your hot wife AJ Lee. That ass. You know? Shit. All right, so not Dom. Punk, shut your mouth. That's that. All right, for this segment, I gave 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it. All right, then we find out there's a new cover version for WWE 2K26. We already had the Attitude Era edition. Then we found out about the NWO edition, I believe. And now we had a little commercial with Paul Heyman talking about, it's like, oh, we can get Austin Theory on. And Triple H, he's with Triple H in WWE headquarters, and Heyman's pitching the Vision being on the cover, and then they go out of the elevator, and you see this big fucking picture of Hunter on the cover of WWE 2K26, and Hunter's like, ooh, I'm impressed. How'd you pull this off? So now we got the Triple H version, so we got 4 versions. We got the actual cover coming out Friday morning at 9 a.m., and there's leaks saying that Punk is going to be on the cover again. What is this, 2K13? Come on now. We don't want Punk on the cover. I'd rather have Seth Rollins or Roman. As long as it's not Joe Hendry. But, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And that's that. Moving along. Alright, so pick up those versions. I think they come out on Friday, and then we'll get the final reveal on Friday for the actual cover of 2K26, which I think comes out next month. The actual release date, I think, is next month. So get them while they're hot. I might actually get the Triple H version or the Attitude Era version. I don't know yet, but we'll see. We'll see which one I actually feel like getting. That's that. Alright, speaking of the Vision, they come out. My name is Paul Heyman, Logan Small, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and the big man, he's back, Braun Breaker! Alright, so they come out for a chat. It was supposed to be Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce, one-on-one, to kind of settle things, what happened about a week or two ago. So the wise man, Paul Heyman, after getting the Dom treatment, says, we're here to boost the star power on the show, even in this second-class city. Come on. Toronto's a great place, Paul. Shut up. Heyman introduces everyone on the team. We go through some of the issues the Vision has been having with Pearce as of late. And then on cue, Adam Pearce comes out with no music or anything. Goes into the ring, even though Braun Breaker wanted to kill him. So they had to hold him back a little bit. So Heyman asks the crowd to boo him and flip him off. Sad. Anyway. So Pearce just goes right up to Braun Breaker, who looked like he was still about to kill him. He ultimately apologizes and lifts Braun's suspension. And he's also in the Royal Rumble. Welcome back. And then he goes up, and Heyman's like, oh, great doing business with you, blah, blah, blah. And then Pearce like, what else do you need? So Heyman's like about to give him a handshake. Pearce is like, yeah, you're great. You're in. So he basically put the entire Vision in the Royal Rumble. And then Heyman's like, wait a minute, what? So, because I noticed when I think they mentioned Logan Paul and the others going in the Rumble, his eyes, like, he didn't like that. It was like, him and Braun's eyes like, oh, shit. But, Braun is one of the favorites to win the Rumble next to Roman, of course. And there's an outside shot Sammy wins, but we'll have to see what happens on Saturday afternoon. Then he mentions, as for Austin Theory, might have won last week if not for brass knuckles. So, later on, he gets to face Rey Mysterio again. It was like a 5th match between them? Come on, man. Let me say like Roman. Come on! And that, as I say, is that. So I gave that segment 3 out of 5 stars. So then we get to Rey Mysterio and Austin Theory. Wasn't anything great. Theory wins with a stomp in a little over 9 minutes. I really didn't care what happened in the match. Pentagon, Cero, Miedo, and that guy named Dragon Lee were at ringside. So, Austin Theory wins. Match gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, the Vision just destroys them. Braun Breaker with a bunch of spears. Got a tsunami to, I think, Pentagon. I mean, they wrecked them. And also, Rey Mysterio got the little X from the referee. He legit got injured with his shoulder. So, hopefully it's not a serious injury. And I don't know if he's going to be able to compete in the Rumble. So, we'll have to see what happens with that. So, Stephanie with a little, tweaked her ankle. And now Ray with his shoulder. Javon with his leg, but he was on Raw. But he's going to be in the Rumble, so I don't think it was that serious. Thank God for Javon, the young OG. And we see what happens with that. Let me move on. With that. Alright, then we got a nice video for Natty, the UFC version of Natalya. Natty explains that she's crushing Maxine Dupri and implies she wants Becky Lynch's Intercontinental title. Yeah. It's okay. We'll see what happens with that. But I like this new Natty. I want to see where it goes. Because, good girl Natty was so boring. Good girl Natalya, boring as fuck. Now we got UFC, don't give a fuck Natalya or Natty. I like to see where this goes. And what she did last week, beating the crap out of Maxine. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we go to the back. Raquel Rodriguez is screaming in Espanol. Pero! Bella! He's screaming for Stephanie Vaquer. But then, Peter's like, hey! I'm on the phone! Shut the f up! Click. So she starts yelling at Raquel. Lyra Valkyria, the bird lady, they get annoyed at her for being too loud. You're just too loud. And Stephanie Vaquer comes in. They have a wild brawl. And then, people like Petey Williams and Jason Jordan and Daivari have to come in and break it up. Like, that's gonna work. Alright, so we got that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get another video for our Tribal Chief. Put up your ones, ladies and gentlemen. Acknowledge him. Acknowledge the prophecy. The greatest thing going today. Roman Reigns, our Tribal Chief, will be back at the Rumble this Saturday. He has a great shot to win. If he wins, great. If he doesn't, maybe he gets into the Elimination Chamber and wins. But right now, on paper, Roman does not have a title match at Mania. Now, I would love for him to win and beat the crap out of CM Punk. But him going after Drew, well, he got Cody and he got Jacob in there. So they could do a fatal 4-way. But I'd rather have Drew versus Roman one-on-one, like back at Clash at the Castle in Scotland, where Roman beat Drew because of Solo. But, we'll see what happens at the Rumble, and that's that. Alright, but good stuff there. As always, acknowledge your Tribal Chief. Alright, then we go to the sit-down interview with Walter. Michael Cole is there. So Walter says there's nothing for him to gain, but with just beating AJ on Saturday. Now he has something to gain as he can end AJ's career. He says AJ wanted one more moment, but now the moment he's going to give, the fans are seeing him give up in his final match. He's getting rid of all these old-timers. Then he's like, hey, Cole, when are you going to have your moment? Kind of implying that he's going to end Michael Cole's career. I'm like, do it. Do it so I can take his job. I'll take Cole's job any day of the week. So, Walter, do your job, and I'll just DM Hunter all up the wazoo and saying, hey, you know, give me a shot. But just don't scream in my ear, stop it, you know. But I'll be like, you stop it, I just like randomly see Stephanie McMahon. Hi, Steph! It's like, don't, and I'll just like, hey, Stephanie, here, Mike Awesome's here, you know. Nah. Go back, Mike. You know, you're done. Okay, I just want to say bye! Okay. Thank you. Anyway, so we got that. So, yeah, Michael Cole got scared. Yeah, you have Pat McAfee to help you this time. Anyway, so Will's like, I can end you right now, but I want you there at the Royal Rumble to announce the end of AJ's career. Damn. Like he did with Cena. So... But great promo, 3.25 out of 5 stars for that. And we'll have to see what happens on Saturday afternoon. And that's that. Alright, then we get a video for the world title match later on with CM Punk and AJ Styles. So we got that. Alright, then we're back. Adam Pearce is happy about a phone call he just got. I wonder where that phone call was from. Probably Dwayne. Good job, Adam. Or maybe it was Nick Khan, I don't know. But anyway... Finn Balor comes in and declares himself for the Royal Rumble. Adam Pearce says, well, the Rumble is full. And but it's full right now, so I can't put you in. But Finn says, this isn't over. Then he leaves, runs right into Liv Morgan, you know, who wants to know what was up with you and Punk last week, I guess, with the handshake and everything. Basically, Liv says, last week, Punk treated you like a participation trophy. And the Judgment Day is his real family. And then Balor says, this isn't so straightforward. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. So I gave that little segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we move on. Alright, back to the ring we go with a Fatal 4-Way match for the number 1 contender to the Usos Raw Tag Team titles. We got Alpha Academy, Otis, and Akira Tozawa taking on Los Americanos, Rayo and Bravo, the Creed Brothers, now known as American Made, and the New Day of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston! Alright, Jay Uso, the Yeet Man, at ringside, along with he did it, Grayson Waller. I think we saw, I don't know if El Grande Americano was there. Maybe he took the night off. I don't know. Anyway, it was kind of confusing because Michael Cole couldn't remember which Americano was which, so Graves tells him, Rayo, red, Bravo, blue. I'm the Miss Rachel of Luchadors out here. What? Okay. And I'm like, if I was sitting next to Graves and he said that to me, I'm like, okay, Corey. Back to the match we go now. I just looked at him weird, like, okay. I'd be like, yeah, and I'm Carlos Silva. Shit. Anyway, I'm getting to the end of the match. Otis comes in to clean house, including the Caterpillar for a near fall on Brutus. Julius and Brutus. I feel like saying Scorpion Sub-Zero. The deadliest of enemies. So like, I feel like Julius and Brutus. Anyway, so it hits that on Brutus. So Zawa adds a double DDT and a German suplex. Fans are like, yeah, that's great. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Grayson Waller crotches Ozawa on top. Oh, they hurt your dumplings. Balls. But Otis is back and wrecks everybody. And then Tozawa's balls feel better. And he hits that top rope backsplash on Julius. 1, 2, 3. So they are the new number 1 contenders to the Usos tag team titles. I didn't have that on my bingo card, so we get that. And then under the 11-minute match was 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Jay gets on the apron, holds up the belt to Otis and Tozawa, then a little fist pump. So we'll see what happens with that. Probably be after the Royal Rumble. Probably the Raw after the Rumble will probably have that match. And you know the Usos are going to wreck them. So imagine them losing to Tozawa and Otis. I'd vomit so uncontrollably that I'd pass out. Let me get that. Alright, after that, my favorite segment of the night, we got The Man! Becky Lynch talking to Jackie Redmond, who's wearing her Toronto Maple Leafs jacket. They had a little video with her and Chelsea Green in, I guess, at the Toronto Maple Leafs game. They probably lost. Hey, the Rangers won last night. Woo! In overtime. Woo! Like I care, because the Rangers ain't going to the playoffs. Who gives a shit? I know we got 2 months left, but you think the Rangers going to make the playoffs? Probably not. Unless they, they wake up. They made a trade with the Icelanders. They got rid of some guy, and they got a third-round draft pick. Ugh, who cares? I mean, who cares? I mean, fire Chris Drury and get rid of Dolan and just rebuild the New York Rangers. Let the Messiah, Mark Messier, run the team. Get Brian Leach to be the coach or something, or maybe Adam Gray or something like that. We need a new leader. The coach for the Rangers, I think it's Mike Quick or whoever it is. Get him out. And frankly, get rid of Igor too, because he sucks. I know he's injured, but his good years was back in 2021-22. He sucks so bad right now. And the Rangers really, their run was great in I think it was 22-23. When they went to the conference finals and lost to the eventual champions, the Florida Panthers. They should have won. I had that series won almost. They just were like, ugh. Like they did in 2004. Was it 14? I think 14 or 15 when they were facing they ran right through the freaking Eastern Conference, go to the Stanley Cup, and face the Kings, and they lost the first 2 games in overtime, win Game 3, lost Game 4 at the Garden, because I was there. I was there at Game 3 when they won that game. I was like, yeah, we're going to go to Game 4. They lost Game 4, and then went back to LA, and they lost in overtime again, and they lost the Stanley Cup in LA. In overtime, because they just let LA just come back every fucking time. It was insane. They just ran out of gas. Right now, this year is just garbage. It's like I feel like I'm watching a Rangers team from like 1987. The bad years of the Rangers. When they were like garbage. I mean, I didn't start watching the Rangers until 93, 94 when they won the Cup. And I was there for the Cup too. But I wasn't a big fan of the Rangers early on when I first got cable, Cablevision and Optimum and shit like that. I would watch MSG and like flip around, like, oh, the Rangers are on hockey, yeah, let's watch some Rangers. Sam Rosen, it's a power play goal. Not anymore. But the Rangers stink this year, man. We got to worry about how the Mets are going to do this year. Yankee fans, oh, you got a long year. You got a long year to go, baby. You're gonna have a long year. Still some deals to be made, and maybe the Mets get Valdez, and maybe a couple other bats, and maybe a high-end reliever. They got a great bullpen now with Devin Williams, Luke Weaver. Now we got Kimbrel. Guys like that. We got our pretty much our ace, or at least 1, 2, 3, number 3 maybe. That's Peralta. So we got McLean, Clay Holmes, Peralta, the fake Tribal Chief, Sean Manaea, Senga. You can put Jonah Tong in there. You can put Peterson in there. We got like 7 pitchers going for 5 spots. And then you can put Tobias Myers in there. You can put him in the bullpen. I'd put him in the bullpen, per se. But you can bring him back in. I would use him as an emergency starter. Like a spot starter, per se. One of the aces gives up like 35 runs or something like that. Bring in Tobias Myers. Why not? But as far as McGill goes, I get rid of him. Senga, I don't know. He is so injury prone, I'd rather just get rid of him for money or send him back to Japan. I don't know. Send him somewhere. Send him to the fucking NWO Dodgers. Let him hang out with Ohtani. And, what's his name? Yamashita, whatever his name is, the pitcher. from on the Dodgers. I think it's Yamashita or Yamamoto, whatever his name is. Yamamoto, I think it is. That's what it is. It's just the NWO Dodgers versus the Mets right now. Because every other team pretty much sucks. They didn't do that great in free agency. The Phillies did okay. Braves, not so much. I think it's going to be a dogfight between the Mets and possibly the Phillies this year. Braves maybe in the running. And as far as the Nationals, sorry, I know somebody who likes the Nationals. They're done. They're still rebuilding. Marlins might be a surprise again. Look out for those fish. Those Marlins, they always give the Mets fits. But it is what it is. So the East is going to be between the Mets, and the Phillies. Maybe the Braves, maybe the Marlins. We'll see. Central probably be the Cubs. I mean, they got a lot of good people in free agency and trades and stuff. Might be the Cubs winning that division. The West, give it to the Dodgers. I mean, who else? The Giants? I know they got a couple of good people, but Padres, you can still have Tatis and Machado and a pretty decent pitching staff, but I can't see that. And then the Rockies, rebuilding. That's it. And then the American League, I mean, pretty much as a toss-up. I go with Toronto to win that division. Yankees might get a wild card. Boston might get a wild card because they got good pitching now. We'll see what happens with that. Baltimore, sorry, Otaku. I don't think they're going to make it. They'll probably have a red hot start and then downhill like they always do. And then Tampa Bay, they might stick around. We'll see. And then, like, the Central, that's a toss-up. And then I probably give the AL West to the Seattle Mariners. Because they had a great team. Even though they lost Polanco, I think they still have a strong team and can get back to the playoffs and do some damage. But we'll see. Even the Tigers, if they keep Skubal, they trade him to the Mets or somewhere. I mean, we'll have to see. We got a couple more weeks. I think we got just about 2.5, 3 weeks till pitchers and catchers start. And then regular season, the spring training games start actually a month from yesterday, the 26th. It starts on the 26th, 27th-ish. So, about a month to go to spring training, ladies and gentlemen. And then we got the World Baseball Classic coming up. That's fun. Who's going to win that? Probably Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. I know Lindor's on it. I think Judgy Wudgy's going to be on the USA team. Nolan McLean's going to be pitching for the USA team. I think Lindor is going to be on the Dominican Republic or the Puerto Rico team. A lot of Mets and Yankees going to be on different teams, so it's going to be exciting. I don't know if it means anything like home field advantage, like in the World Series. I think that's just the All-Star game. But I mean, it's going to be pretty good good thing, good league, or a good tournament, let's say. But I don't know. I don't know. I might not watch any of it. I might watch maybe the USA games and maybe the Puerto Rico games, but other than that, I'm just waiting for, baseball to start at the end of March. 2 months away from, I think, today, actually. I think it starts on the 27th, somewhere around the end of March. The last Thursday in March, that's when the season starts, and the Mets will be home against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, we'll see who's the opening day starter. People saying Peterson. Why? I give it to Peralta. That's just me. Or I give it to McLean, too. I'd rather give it to McLean or Peralta at this point. Or just have McLean, Peralta, and Clay Holmes and the first 3 games. And then go with Manaya, go with Senga, go with Peterson. You work something out, 4 or 5. And then go back to McLean for the 5th game of the season, or the 6th game of the season. But I know they got the Pirates to start, and then I think they're on the road right after that. So but they're home, and I might be going to that the opening day game. I might go. We'll see. I want to go to the Cyclone games this year. The South Division champions of the Single A League, or the South Division in the Single A League. Get to see that banner in Coney Island and everything. Get to see a few games. It's cheap. Tickets are cheap. Food, not so much, hell. Not so much. But at least you can get a nice, tasty Nathan's hot dog with some great tasting fries from Nathan's as well. And then you can get some chicken tenders. And you get pretty much almost, not everything, but you get some good stuff. You get some beer. You have a good time. It's a great time to be there in Coney Island. And then you can watch the game. And then you can go down to Nathan's for more food, or you go on the amusement park. Some fireworks on Friday nights during the summertime. It's a good time. It's a great time to go. Great time. So I might be there during the summertime. We'll see. See if I can go to a few games. Not a lot, all of them. I wish I could, but back in the day I could. Back in the day when I was working in Brooklyn College Radio, when we were doing the games and them, because we were tape delay, I went to pretty much not all of them because I had to run the board and everything. So I went to almost every one of the games that I actually had a broadcast. I was doing play-by-play, and I had a couple guys with me to do color and stuff like that. Pain in the ass to bring the freaking phone jack and everything. That was a pain in the ass. And one of my friends had his laptop, and a foul ball hit the laptop. Didn't break it, thankfully. And I wasn't at that game, but I heard about it. I was like, damn, good thing I wasn't there. I was sitting next to you. Boom! A few came close to me. A few came very close. And then one game, I was there alone, and then my partner came late. And it was bobblehead day, and I was like, and they asked me to model the freaking bobblehead, and I'm doing it like it's the Price is Right. Ooh, look at the bobblehead, bobblehead. What's funny is some fans saw me after the show, after the game, and I was like, "Oh, you modeled that very well." I was like, "Yeah, I took it from the Price is Right." You know, like I figure I'm like Diane or something like that. Diane, you know, Bob Barker and shit. It's like I had experience from the '80s. Shit, good stuff though. Anyway, move on. All right, so I have the man mocking Jackie Revin's Toronto Maple Leafs jacket because the Leafs suck. Talks about Natty attacking Mid-Maxine. Oh, Mid-Maxine. Mama Mid. And she says the same thing happened to her with loser Lyra, but now she's in the Royal Rumble and she's going to win. Then my first and second amazingly hot Asian wives. Nobody is ready for Asuka except my dick. That's Asuka and my second wife, Kylie. They come in and basically say they're in the Royal Rumble. And then basically Kyrie's talking for Asuka. He's like, "Oh, Asuka-san says I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble," and then Becky says, "Hey, tell your friend Asuka that she cost me the win at War Games." So she tells Asuka. Asuka's like, "I heard what she said, you banana baka." And then she's like, "See you at the Royal Rumble." And then Kyrie just stops and then looks at the Women's Intercontinental title, tries to touch it, and then you hear, "Kylie!" You gotta love it. No, don't touch the merchandise. If you watch my short on my Peter Joseph channel, you know. Don't touch the merchandise. But Kyrie, you can touch my merchandise anytime. But I digress. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, we got a little bit to go. Alright, your boy is bouncy. Javon Evans comes up to AJ Styles, says he'd love to see him on a retirement tour. AJ likes the idea, but Javon doesn't seem certain it's going to happen. But it's great to see Javon after that really bad injury, the scary injury he had last week where he was holding his pec. So maybe it's not so serious, Al. So, we got that. Alright, NXT's coming up in about 3 minutes! Did I say 3 minutes? We got that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. And then, La Primera, Stephanie Becker comes up to Adam Pearce. They talk a little bit of Espanol. Basically, Stephanie requests a fight with Raquel Rodriguez next week. So Adam Pearce says, okay, next week, you will fight Raquel Rodriguez in a Philadelphia street fight. Yeah, we're getting extreme next week. Not that extreme, but extreme. So we'll see what happens with that next week on the program. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get the Royal Rumble rundown. So we get all that. Then we're in the Vision's lounge or locker room. They plan for the Royal Rumble, talk about how one of them should be their focus. Logan Paul is saying all this, and he thinks it should be... I was thinking he was going to say himself, and I was like, what? And then he says, Braun Breaker should win the Royal Rumble, and then everybody's like, yeah, I agree. Good talk. So Braun Breaker most likely wins the Rumble confirmed, or they give it to Roman. I hope it's Roman, but I wouldn't be mad if Braun Breaker wins and he destroys CM Punk at Mania. As for Roman, well, I guess the only way to get to Mania in a title shot is to win the Chamber. If he's in the Chamber. We'll see. We got that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get a final video for the Buddha, who, the Destroyer, who, the Bringer of War, who, Oba, who, Femi. Alright, so we got that. And that makes sense. He's going to be debuting at the Rumble, in the Royal Rumble match. It fits. So we get that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, then we get to your main event for the Raw World title. CM Punk versus AJ Styles. Epic match. They're going for submissions early on. It gets all broken up. Shining Wizard gets counted into a really bad-looking Styles Clash attempt by AJ. AJ, come on. They go to the outside. Punk does a GTS on the floor. And then they almost get counted out. AJ got in at 9.5, not at 9.995, but he got in at 9.5. Then AJ hits the Styles Clash run near fall. They'll get a little double down breather. They get back up, they strike, they slug it out. AJ wins that, hits the Pele kick. Goes to the Styles Clash again, gets counted into a GTS. And then Finn Balor runs in, drop kicks Punk in the corner. And AJ falls to the floor. So we get a disqualification. So AJ wins the match via DQ in a little over 18 minutes. Match was still great, 3.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Finn goes berserk, beats the living shit out of Punk. A couple of drop kicks against the barricade, which kind of didn't break. I am the barricade! Then he brings him in, I think 3 coup de grace to end the show. I was like, why did you do that, Finn? You ruined a great match. Now we're going to see what happens at the Rumble, and then what happens on Monday Night Raw this Monday night. And that's pretty much it. Alright, overall, wasn't a bad Raw, so I give it pretty standard 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think of Raw down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, NXT is on the air right now. We are live from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. And we start off with this guy. We start off with this guy? I mean, really? We start with below average Joe Hendry? Come on, man! Oh, wait, we don't start because, swipe right, the Vanity Project, annihilate him. In the back, somebody got the chair. Drake Jackson got the chair. So I think it was Drake Jackson supposed to take on Joe Hendry in that qualifying match. Now, Abe was like, what do we do now? Is that Maxine Dupree? The female referee, I forgot her name. Looks like Maxine Dupree. She's like talking. Then somebody says, I think the referee says somebody pulled up. And then Abe was on the Tron, on the walkie-talkie type thing, the headset, and says that, says something, and now, my cousin Tony D'Angelo gets you a pizza for $2, well, he gets me a pizza for $2, but you get it for $10.50, he's coming into the building, and then Ricky Starks, who's got to buy into the six-way, he's on commentary with Vic Joseph and Booker T, sucker! So we get that, he's so funny. Like, hey, Vic! That's funny. Booker T's laughing like I'm... What is he laughing at, you moron? And Vic's like, can we start the show, please? It feels like back in the 80s, with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan just rambling. And Bobby Heenan's just rambling about some weird shit. And Monsoon's like, can we start the show? Will you stop? And Bobby's just like, oh, did you see that kid? Eddie tried to jump out the window to escape. What a heinous act. What a coward. And then Monsoon's like, are you blind? Can't believe he did that. You know. Alright, so Ricky does his little thing. I guess he's going to have a match coming up. Because he's like, he has to get out of there. We get that. Alright, so it looks like now we're going to start with Dark State. Alright, so we have, this is a tag team title match against OTM. So it's going to be Saquon Sugars and looks like, Osiris Griffin with Cutler at ringside. Well, I don't know where Dion Lennox is. So they're going to be taking on Lucius Price and Bronco Nima of OTN, the Boricua Gangsters. So, let's see how this match goes. I hope we get a title change. I'm sick of Dark State, Deuces and Jokers, Jobbers and whatever. So we get that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go watch up NXT, and then I'll be back later tonight with your official NXT review over on my Peter Joseph channel. So stay tuned, please hit that bell, and all that good shit. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, 7 out of 10 stars for Raw. But let me know what you guys think down below. And like Trick Willie says, let's talk about it. That's that. Alright, enjoy your rest of your evening, or your Tuesday evening. And I'll be back a little bit later, like I said, with your NXT review on my Peter Joseph channel. But for now, I'm Peter Joseph signing off. Peace out, rock on, and rock hard with your Coke-Out! And if you're not down with that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. Adios. Peace.